Hit the club with bad bitches. Stack of hundreds, bunch of 50s. Super clean, shout get 'em. Hit the scene, kill shit, we in the murder business. I kill pride, I hurt feelings. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. My outfit out, the murder bitches. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. Iggy, do it biggie. Tell them keep sending battles, I'ma pop 50. These other bitches think they hot? Not really. She a broke hoe, that's how you know she not with me. Keep my heels on high, ride or die. 760 LI, ride or fly. I'm the guys on the truth, they decide to lie. They just divide their legs, I divide the pot. Now, nobody digging out hoes. When Iggy in the spot, they be digging out hoes. I'm cold, get in that thing. Kill bitches dead, click, clack, bang, bang. It's a murder business. Hit the club with bad bitches. Stack of hundreds, bunch of 50s. Super clean, shout get 'em. Hit the scene, kill shit, we in the murder business. I kill pride, I hurt feelings. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. My outfit out, the murder bitch. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. Easy, we got 'em queasy. Give these hoes a hard time, make it look easy. I'm the first of my kind, you ain't seen any? We gon' eat this bread, cause we made plenty. Stakes piled high, let the hunters fly. You ain't gotta do shit to stay broke and die. While I keep making hits with these coca lines. Shit in my max big, you poster size. And then nah, they ain't feeling y'all hoes. You was on fire when the piss on y'all hoes. I'm cold, getting that thing. Kill bitches dead, click, clack, bang, bang. It's murder business. Hit the club with bad bitches. Stack of hundreds, bunch of 50s. Super clean, shout get 'em. Hit the scene, kill shit, we in the murder business. I kill pride, I hurt feelings. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. My outfit out, the murder bitch. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business.
Outfit perfect, hit the scene, hurt shit. In the 9/11, now 187 murder shit. Holocaust, genocide, kill their ego and their pride. Treatment in the hate, and it's a murder in the making. I'm taking all shine on top. Buying all bottle from the bar, let pop champagne. Let them nigga die third, man, well by her. When the light hit the chain, all you see is fireworks. I mute niggas turned up all the way. Shoot nigga with the swag, not holiday. I'm steady blowing out, broke niggas ain't allowed. Click, clap, bang, bang, pow, pow. It's the murder business.
Hit the club with bad bitches. Stack of hundreds, bunch of 50s. Super clean, shout get 'em. Hit the scene, kill shit, we in the murder business. I kill pride, I hurt feelings. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. My outfit out, the murder bitch. Click, clack, bang, bang, we in the murder business. Hey, we in that time. Everybody just to kill, bang, bang. Yeah, we in that time. Everybody just to kill, bang, bang. It's the murder business. We in that murder business. It's the murder business. We on that murder business. It's the murder business. We in that murder business. It's the murder business. We on that murder business.
Thumbs up the video, you guys. I'm gonna give you guys one more song selection, and then we're gonna go ahead and push through and get into the commentary for tonight. We might be doubling back because you guys wanted me to cover Bishop Whitehead, another ninja who's clearly going straight to the gates. Baby, it must be like a prison spirit. Is it a prison spirit going around, y'all? Y'all might want to spray y'all Lysol and spray y'all TINGZ, honey, because it seems like it is a county jail and a prison spirit, girl. Oh, nasty warrant spirit that's just going around the thing. Okay. But we're going to talk about it, child. Y'all just go ahead and thumbs up, so we can get the Conscious crew up in her. Oh, quarter.
To the MI, cat like a semi. Niggas stole my car, won't you get mine? Get your ass a black eye. Oh, say bye-bye. I'ma get your body to the sky. Run through your clip. Nigga, you pissed on trip. I'ma have to brush you in your lips. And the whips, better have a whole lot of chips. Cause I ain't for no nigga giving tips. She's a bitch. When you say my name, talk more jump, but won't look my way. She's a bitch. See, I got more cheese. So back on up while I roll up my sleeve. She's a bitch. You can't see me, Joe. Get on down while I shoot the flow. She's a bitch. When I do my thing, got the place on fire, better down the time. Roll up in my car, don't stop, won't stop. I'ma keep it rocking to the clock on top. I'ma keep it hot, and my ass on fire. I'ma grab a Philly go and roll it at the bar. What you talk, what you say, Gotta flow, gotta move it slow, Better you running out the door, You gon' be a long lost soul, what you say? Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yi-yay. Put me on stage, watching niggas feel mad. Put my shit on wax, watch it blaze like mango. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yi-yay. 55, 65, height, 75, 85, twist the mic. 95, let's it wild for the night. 105, I'ma keep the crowd hype. She's a bitch, when they say my name. Talk more jump, but won't look my way. She's a bitch, see I got more cheese. Back on up, while I roll up the sleeve. She's a What you know about Timothy? Let me know. Eat an MC like C's, let me know. If you get drunk, lean on me, let me know. I'm about to bust like P, feel me now. Anybody know my skills, what it is? Anybody feel my skills, is it real? Anybody wanna come fuck with the still? Anybody gotta get the whole body pill? She's a bitch, when they say my name. Talk more jump, but won't look my way. She's a bitch, see I got more cheese. Back on up, while I roll up my sleeve. She's a bitch, you can't see me, Joe. Get on down, while I shoot my flow. She's a bitch, when I do my thing, got the place on fire, burn it down the
I think I want one more Missy joint. I want one more Missy joint.
Not
One
so
more
fast.
Missy joint. We're going to get up in her. Run those thumbs up, honey, because y'all know if them thumbs up ain't looking right. Legina Gold, R. Kelly, and Aaliyah's eldest daughter with the acoustic version of 4-page letter is on standby. Super freaky grandmammy. The 7-minute remastered extended version is on standby. I have y'all torment music, girl, queued up, honey. Okay, because we're working, honey. And what y'all can do to help me work is work them fingers in return. It costs you $3.99.
Now see, the one thing I like about the niggas is that they can fess up to one of their boys that they've been sleeping with the same chick and laugh about it. But see, a woman can never admit to another woman that she been sleeping with a man. Cause if that ever happened to me, I would call your house and be like, yeah, don't you got a man? Why you fucking with mine? See, I've been through bad times. Get your mind off mine. You must be lonely. Why you messing with me? But it won't be easy to get my baby. You don't know who you're messing with. Most of them leave with the car doors bent. Yeah. I'm so pissed you gon' make me flip. I'ma teach you not to touch my shit. I'll be calling his house when you're not around. Don't make me want you. You know how I get down. Somebody told me that I ain't tripping off you down. You were doing your thing. He still be with you. You don't know who you're messing with. You don't know. Most of them leave with their car doors bent. I'm so this, you gon' make me flip. Hello? Hello? I'll teach you not to touch my shit. Yo, who this for real, man? Hello? I can't believe you ain't believe. Hello? Hello? Show me some respect. Y'all, who this for real, man? Yo, this is playing a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this ain't no game. It's not a game. Oh, okay. Yeah, what? You want some real bullshit now? You know what? Why don't you just come to my house, bitch? You know? Yeah, I come through. Yo, where you live at? Ask your nigga where I stay. He ain't got nothing to do with it. He ain't got nothing to do with this. Ask him where I live at. When that same stuff you from last year, when I had to come through there last year. What? And I do it again. Cause I want you ain't keep none of check. You gotta keep your man in check and keep him around my house. Bitch. No, I will. You don't know who you're messing with. You don't know. Most of them leave with their car doors bent. Blow out me like I'm an air vent. Love, you know what it says. Don't front teach you not to touch my shit. You done took it too far. I'm out in my car and you won't, bitch. You done took it too far. I'm out in my car and you won't, bitch. You done took it too far. I'm out in my car and you won't, bitch. You done took it too far.
Cause I'm that chick, yo, that same chick. But I ain't with that playing that game shit. Start calling that name shit, and I'ma get on that same shit, that new shit. They call you cool shit. That what you wanna do shit. Boys, you don't keep that nigga. Beat my ass cool.
You been sucking his dick, tasting my clip. Just the side chick, on the side bitch. I'm the prize bitch. Keep it silent, make me violent. You'll be dialing 911 to tell the family.
Around your crew, you's a bad bitch.
Yeah, he's talking mad shit. Told shoot the five nigga, you get that ass kicked. What you think we game in? Shit is real, I ain't playing.
I got your mom praying.
It's gonna get risky, fuck with Missy. I'ma shoot you where your ribs be, so you can feel me. Ain't it real deep? You so filthy, and you mildy, not appealing. Drum roll.
You done done it now. You done done it now. She's mad. What? She's mad. I'm letting the two girls fight. Wow.
Hey, what's up, Larry, baby? Listen, this is just a little remix to remind you that you are still the shiznit. Don't even worry about Daryl Mother Bomb and his B-Team minions, because you had a purpose before they even had an opinion. You still got much love out here, and you are still winning. So let those haters hate, and let those trolls troll. Wow. They are just mad because they will never ever rise to your level. Y'all haters ain't on his 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 level. You ain't on his level. Here we go. We're gonna start with Daryl Moore. You ain't on his level. And I'll say your name, cause from the pits of the hell you came. You's a dirty old man. You came up with a lame ass plan. You tried to take Larry down, with a proof that was unfound. Shame on you. Find something else better to do. Cause that same ditch that you dig in is the same ditch your ass gonna fall in. You recruited El Carter, and his dumb ass ain't no smarter. And as a matter of fact, I think you want Larry's feet in your crack. Damn! Marcellus, look looking like Hannibal Burris. You're always making threats, but ain't never done a damn thing yet. Ain't you that gutter snake who made fun of Larry's rape? You'll say it ain't so, but when we saw you on a video, shut the hell up and sip your tea, because a badass you'll never be. All you do is talk shit with that lame ass 18 clip. And now we got big little Kim, who really just wants to sit in. I won't go in on you, sis, but you're so much better than this. And Roxanne, Daryl don't want to be your man. He is just using you because he needs a thinking of you. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Black Mr. Clean. Y'all haters ain't on whoever the hell y'all be. You ain't on his level. Y'all the biggest haters I ever seen. Y'all niggas ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You tried it though. Gotta give you an A for effort, but you really gotta E for epic failure. Now go cry in the car.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's going on, Conscious Crew? Hey, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you guys are having a wonderful hump day, honey. All condoms. We practice safe, sanitize, humping. Okay. Shout out to my baby mother, Angela, and my baby mother, Star, for the nasty piece of child support checks. Thank y'all. God bless. You guys know that you can always send the king some love because he's working around the clock on these streets to give y'all news that y'all can't even motherfucking use. But it's for your entertainment pleasure, bitch. All right. So shout out, honey. PayPal, Cash App. All information is in the description below. In the description box below. How y'all doing on her? Have y'all been sharing? Did you guys thumbs up? Let me check these thumbs up, girl, because y'all really be playing on my top. Let me check out this like section, girl, because I be doing way too much, honey. Okay, and I don't think y'all be doing enough. Hold on, let me check these likes out. Chat. Let me see something in this mother. 100. Okay. 100. Right. See, y'all don't want to do no work until y'all feel like, girl, I'm about to give y'all a lashing. They looking all right, but continue to thumbs up. So we got a quick, not so quick update to get into, girl. There's been a lot of bald-headed hoe shenanigans going on. In this particular case, honey, if you missed the old nasty upload that I published earlier this morning, girl, where you got to hear the actual call from Roxanne, the mustache-wearing man, y'all know this is one of Fupa's minions, honey. You know, she been upset ever since God allowed her to be built, bitch, okay, like a delayed Delta airline flight, all right? Ever since then, for some reason, girl, she's had a hard on for Larry and myself. Well, 4 years later and almost $200,000 in the hole, she finally feels like enough is in fact enough. And the bitch couldn't even tell the truth for all of 60 damn seconds. So that bitch got exposed immediately. So when you get finished with this here live stream, go ahead and roll over to the video section and check out that 13-minute phone call and get your gags in. All right. Now, you guys also know that Fupa, who was successfully sued, litigated against Dr. Reid Lives, okay, back in 2020, girl. So we're going on, what, 4 years now? 4 years of litigating, honey. And it's been a shit show ever since. Well, shit is finally escalating and hitting the fan for the third time. What's going on? Breaking the culture silence. Hey, boo. Thank you, Patricia. All right, we are 5th enforcement in and 4th contempt because the bitch committed double contempt this time around, honey. If you ain't caught up, y'all gonna have to get in touch with all the updates, and I ain't going through all that all over again unless y'all gonna be paying me real good to do so. PayPal and Cash App, all right. Now, FUPA had a case status hearing today at noon. Dr. Larry Reid did not have to attend because first and foremost, he don't have to self-represent because he's a very rich bitch. All right. So he was able to kick his damn feet up somewhere while FUPA was fending for his damn life on Zoom this afternoon before Larry's wonderful attorneys, Mr. Basbari. He got the old nasty Jewish attorneys, girl, whipping ass and taking names against Miss Pro Se. All right. Well, the Zoom meeting lasted for all of 15 minutes because all the courts wanted to do was to see if the defendant could fucking walk. Since he done claimed that he missing a leg, he got a peg leg now. He done had a mini stroke, a massive stroke, a brain stroke, then had brain surgery. He growing titties. He's transitioning. He's going legally blind. He's deaf, baby. He can't afford to get off work. He's got to walk his dog, bitch. He ain't got Wi-Fi. He the only person working. He the only house on the street that ain't got no power, bitch. He done threw every mother an excuse he could up against the wall. So them hoes caught themselves testing the FUPA. All right, so they said, okay, come on up on Zoom. We're going to need to medically evaluate you ourselves. And if you don't have a legit medical excuse, sir, because this would have been the 3rd time we've accommodated you. This would have been the 3rd time we have allowed you to send these my dog ate my homework as excuses to the docket, sugar. All right, we give you more than enough time to get on down there to urgent care and to use Obama's Medicaid, okay, to get you a medical write-off. And in 15 minutes top, he wasn't able to produce one. And guess where he was, girl, during the whole conference? Remember when Angie's Angle, shout out to her, who produced, sung, and wrote, y'all niggas ain't on none of our levels. Remember in the end, the outro says, I bet you he gonna cry in the car. Guess where the hoe was during the damn Zoom meeting? In the damn car. All right. So he went on ahead and helped the courts out, girl, because once they saw that hoe was competent and that hoe had wheels, oh, you got time to roll your ass then down there to the courthouse on the 29th, sir. Here's your court date. We'll be seeing you in person. All right. Now let's get to the docket. All right. Now I'm not going to be showing my screen because, you know, people got their phone numbers and their addresses and all type of privacies and these letters and things. And I would hate to dox these hoes and set off a digital insurrection where somebody would cut off their motherfucking head and then claim that they was avenging me and the Dr. Reid, okay? But if y'all want to go over there and see it for yourself, bitch, you sure could at pacer.org or courtlistener.com, and they allow the downloads to be for free in PDF file, bitch, for your viewing pleasure. All right. But I think this would be a more necessary and appropriate visual while we read through the latest court filings and see all of the damn buffoonery that's been taking place. All right. So I think where we left off was the courts entering an order for the 20th for the defendant in this case to show cause. All right. Now, just an old nasty revisiting of that, honey. Okay, we're just going to skim through this right here. It says that on May the 18th of 2024, the court received an email sent to chamber staff from Jimmy lost all her damn battles in support of defendant on May 13th. And again, on May 15th, the court warned defendant that at absent an emergency situation, any further emailing of the chambers by defendant or anyone else on his black ass behalf shall result in a finding of contempt of court and the issuance of sanctions. Therefore, defendant is indeed ordered to show cause why he should not be held in contempt of court for failing to adhere to court filings. This matter is in fact set for a hearing via Zoom video conference to occur immediately following the Zoom status conference on May the 22nd of 2023 at 12 p.m. Defendant is warned that his failure to appear for the court hearing as ordered will result in the recommendation that he be held in contempt of court and face serious sanctions that could include daily fines and or detainment, where he belongs, because we all know he looking for some aggressive, same gender loving sex. Go ahead and help that man out, Judge. Given the timing of the show cause hearing, in addition to a mailing copy of this order to defendant, the clerk of court shall email a courtesy copy of this court to defendant. The mail address contained in the certificate of service, docket number 48. All right, so what you just heard there, girl, was that they had a 15-minute Zoom meeting, girl. All right, today. Okay, this order was for today. And that there would be another Zoom following the show cause hearing Zoom to deal with separate contempt issues, because as you guys just heard here, he's been having all 15 of his broke ass, ashy tied, and reduced ass followers to email the judge's personal chambers, bitch. And I said, no, honey. The judge wanted to lock his motherfucking black ass up. So he needed him to hang around after the show cause hearing. Well, after that order was submitted, Fupa went to doing what he did best, girl, submitting all type of letters and redundant and irrelevant ass information as if this is the goddamn OJ trial and he's mitigating. Girl, mitigating ended like 2 years ago, sugar. As Roxanne, the bot face, mustache wearing man even said, I mean, even that Fupalet had a clear GED understanding of what the hearings are all about at this point and have always been ever since he signed a mediation agreement back in 2021, which is that whether you breach the settlement agreement or not, it has nothing to do with whether Larry is guilty, whether Larry has out of wedlock ass, estranged children, rather he's a bussy popping pastor. The only thing that you will be showing up to these court hearings for forever and a day is for running your raggedy ass motherfucking mouth, because you indeed, sir, signed in blood a legal binding contract, you and your lawyer, okay, that you will forever shut the fuck up and that you don't mind the federal courts holding your raggedy ass accountable. And they gave you several days and then some more to read over it, to have your lawyers to review the settlement agreement, honey, and you signed faster than this bitch. The rate at which Fupa signed this damn mediation agreement, girl, I didn't know which hit faster. His penmanship, girl, or his My Vanilla card to the hookers on the back pages of Craigslist. I didn't know which one had hit faster, bitch. All right? So now we here. And then all his letter writings and all his litigating is now about to get him locked to hell up, because what that got to do with the price of tea in China. So as a result of that order, what Fupa did was on day before Miss Video Conference, which would have been yesterday, he had a response to and a request to dismiss the cause hearing by the magistrate, honey. Okay, so let's read this old nasty piece of request and response to. Wait a minute. I got an old nasty piece of Cash App from my baby mother, Miss Mata. Thank you, Miss Mata. You know who you are in the chat. For unmatched, period. I love when you love me, baby. All right. Now, the defendant submits this here request and response to the cause hearing, girl. He says, now comes broke ass, poor ass, raggedy ass, dumb ass, unhinged ass, stupid ass, Fupa D more. Pro se, hereby respectfully moves this honorable court that he's been disrespecting for 4 years to set aside the mediation agreement between the two parties to this litigation based on fraud, aka lying by the plaintiff in the original filing and duress by the plaintiff when he agreed to a mediation agreement. So Fupa is trying to claim, girl, that Dr. Reid is a liar and that he was under duress during the time that he signed this injunction. Well, bitch, I would assume so. Your ass is tied up in the legal of the highest levels, federal. Judge Gwen told you in the initial hearing that it would run you $70K in production for this case to make it to trial. When asked, could you financially support your attorney fees, your court filings to see through trial, you said no. When asked, do you have anything legit and absolute to retract these claims, to rebuke these claims, to rebuttal these 77 allegations listed against you by Dr. Reid in this defamation suit, you said no, which was also corroborated by your attorney who wrote up in the memorandum that you had absolutely not a goddamn thing in your defense, bitch, not even a damn. Girl, you ain't even have a testimony, girl. The one thing you had for free, you didn't even have at all, which was at least, bitch, did you even paint the doctor, bitch? Did you even paint this nigga? If you read the memorandum, and maybe we got a little bit of time, you know what? We got a whole lot of time. This memorandum just gives me life. So we're going to put a pause there and go all the way back to the memorandum by the attorney, Fupa's attorney. Okay. Because it's a key, and it's a motherfucking cackle, baby. Okay. Mr. Frederick D. Middleton, Fupa's attorney, ran for cover. Okay, ran from little OCTV, ran from his broke ass client who wasn't paying him, and then had the nerve to not even have no motherfucking evidence, bitch. I mean, a hot shitty mess. But let me tell you what was even more messier about Frederick's, well, in this case, Fupa's attorney. Hold on, let me see here. Motion to withdraw as attorney, baby. This shit is a cackle. This shit is a motherfucking cackle, girl. Yes. Let's see here. Oh, yes, this is a cackle, girl. This is Fupa's attorney. Now. Oh, yeah, I was on all the official lips, not the one. Not all of them, honey. All of them. Now, the gag about Frederick Middleton is that he also had a wife who was serving time at the time that he was representing Fupa, and is serving time now. His wife, Fred Middleton's wife, was some woman who worked for the government in Ohio, and she was practically like a politician. And she was misappropriating government funds that were supposed to go to low-income children and low-income neighborhoods. You know, she's supposed to be fixing up homes, using the money to fix up the communities, the playgrounds, clean the streets up, clothes, food, you know, inspire, elevate the people, black and brown people. Well, Fred Middleton's pale ass wife instead was driving and getting all type of fancy cars. Her and her homegirls was taking trips, baby. She in and out the goddamn Coach stores. And guess what they did? Lock her motherfucking ass up, baby. And even Frederick Middleton caught himself trying to represent her at one point and got her ass pushed into prison even further, bitch. So Frederick Middleton was quite stressed the fuck out, okay, at the time that he was representing Fupa. And I also thought it was really synchronistic and energetic that Fupa magically, metaphysically, energetically lined up with an attorney who was literally married to corruption. That's not coincidental. That's like black boy magic type shit. Like you linking up with an attorney who is literally basically married to the damn mafia, breaking all type of damn laws, got a whole fucking spouse. Oh, baby, I was on their ass. Baby, CTV was on I was on the head, bitch. Baby, we had it going on, honey. Okay? So Frederick Middleton, girl, he couldn't fuck with the king, bitch. Okay, so listen to his memorandum, girl, and keep in mind everything that I just laid out, right? This was his memorandum to the courts, girl. He was requesting to be fired from representing his client, the defendant in the suit. Now comes the defense counsel, Fred Middleton, and hereby moves this court to withdraw as counsel for the defendant. Counsel has reviewed this matter with the defendant and determined that him and his client, cannot properly nor professionally proceed further as the defense counsel. There is no agreement as to the representation, future conduct of the representation. Counsel moves to withdraw as defendant representative is in the best interest of the defendant. Here's his memorandum. I hereby certify that on this 14th day of March of 2023, a copy of the foregoing was filed electronically. Okay, let's get to the good shit. Memorandum in support. Defendant has been given notice of the responsibility of proceeding with the prosecution and production of case materials in this matter, but has not been responsive to the request. So Frederick was trying to let Fupa know, I ain't fucking with you no more, bitch. You done embarrassed me. And I didn't know, girl, you was gonna have me going up against these motherfucking digital titans, girl. I bit off way more than what I can chew, bitch, representing you, girl, because you didn't tell me that what came with Larry was also CTV's motherfucking asshole. You didn't tell me how slick and Kevin and off the chain and smart these motherfucking niggas are, bitch. You did not tell me your ass was broke, hoe. You did not tell me that you spent the last few years slandering these damn people, bitch, ain't have a single lick of motherfucking facts to back it up, bitch. And this shit goes down on my lawyer history. This goes down on my damn Carfax report as a professional, bitch. So between being broke, defenseless, having a bitch with curly hair on YouTube litigating against my ass better than our asses is against Larry ass, bitch, and having a wife who gonna spend the next 13 years licking pussy with cornrows straight to the back of her head, smelling like old coochie every day, bitch. It's a wrap. Now, the problem of communication, this is back to the memorandum, and production of evidence. Key word here is that word evidence. Via technical experts has been limited and caused delay of preparation of documents. The defendant's filings of court documents are without counsel's approval, input, or representation. So remember when Roxanne, the mustache-wearing man, was in her 13-minute conversation with Dr. Reid on yesterday and said that we tried to get him to settle because it was the best thing And we didn't agree with most of the shit he motherfucking did, even though we stood 10 toes down with him every time he went live to support his buffoonery. And he just wanted to do everything himself. And he just wouldn't listen to nobody. And his wrinkles, girl, they were just as rebellious as they want to be, girl. That thrombosis in the neck, girl, it was just as sinful as it needed to be, girl. So now we get a similar echoing and experience directly from the nigga who felt to represent this other nigga in the case named Frederick Middleton, who's saying that communications were complicated and this nigga basically hired me, but thought that he was more of a professional and was more intelligent and had more of the bandwidth to represent himself, which is pointless to me, but hell, this is working out for the best of us because I'm not getting paid and I'm damn near on the edge of a damn mini heart attack my damn self representing this hoe. So judge, could you go ahead and open the goddamn door, bitch, and let me out of this damn train wreck of a vehicle? Back to the memorandum. Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Okay. The attorney-client relationship has been delayed by lack of responses and communication from the client, and this will hinder the attorney-client relationship, and it did. This was the end, ho. The request for the case information has been met with acrimonious and differences of opinions as to the direction of this case. More conflict of interest, girl. Fupa want to go this way. The lawyer of 70 years want to go this way, girl. But Fupa knows what's best, girl, which is why her ass is in double contempt and facing detainment right now, right? Because she is the smartest paralegal crayon in the motherfucking box. The cost of the case will be substantial and a difficult problem for the attorney to undertake without insurances from the client for proper support. The original undertaking was changed based on the conduct of the client and the parties. These conflicts and conditions have caused irreconcilable differences between attorney and client. This is the basis for the motions to withdraw as counsel and request a stay and or continuance for the defendant to obtain replacement counsel. Oh, this was the short version. Okay, because I think the original memorandum was back in 2022, girl. It's 3 pages long, but this was the basically version. I'm not getting paid. This hoe is defenseless. We're on 2 different sides of the television screen when it comes to the direction of the motherfucking case. Goodbye, ho. And Frederick Middleton was allowed to go on as a single father, 70 years of age, suffering with cataracts and having to support who's now a lesbian wife in his life. So fast forward back up to current day. Let's get back to Fupa's response to have the case dismissed. It reads, docket number 65. Now comes the defendant, who's going up against Larry Reid. Defendant Darryl D. Moore, pro se, hereby respectfully moves this honorable court he's been disrespecting to set aside the mediation agreement between blah, 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 blah. At no time, statements of fact say, has the defendant instructed any of his supporters to email the courts. The defendant claims in his response to requesting dismiss the cause hearing that indeed went forward and concluded today, ending in a 29th of May in-person hearing. Ain't looking good for Fupa, girl. That me, little old CTV, is responsible for why his frickle-frack ass supporters email the courts. Because it says the emails for the court. Now watch the double talk. Watch this bitch talk out of both sides of her damn dick sucker. The emails for the court are online and readily accessible. In fact, the employee for the plaintiff has shown your email addresses on his YouTube channel as he is reading documents uploaded to Pacer. It would be an injustice to hold me in contempt on the issue. Bitch was held in contempt. How you gonna argue in one whole sentence, girl? We ain't even talking about like several paragraphs later, girl. Okay, where you would hope the judge just forgets what you laid up above. I mean, how you gonna lie, but then rebut your own manipulation all within the same 116 character written as sentence? The ninja literally said he did not instruct his supporters email the courts. Then said the emails, though, are available and readily accessible. But then says the employee for the plaintiff has shown your addresses on his YouTube channel as he is reading documents uploaded to Pacer. Therefore, it would be an injustice for him to be held in contempt on this issue, girl. Can somebody just make it make sense? Can somebody make it make sense? Because I'm going to tell you how your actual sentence sounded as it made perfect sense. From the court's perspective, what they heard correctly was, thank you, you dumbass bitch, for telling us that the excuse you're trying to make for why your supporters were rambunctiously emailing the courts unlawfully despite 3 different warnings is because CTV pulled the court records and showed the email. However, you also just told us that that's in fact available for anybody to do because the motherfucking motions and the docket is, in your words, publicly accessible and readily available. See you on the 29th, ho. Just dumb. Okay? Now that was his response to a request to dismiss. Then he wrote up an addendum to motion for a mediation agreement to be set aside based on what exactly? Now comes this paralegal who knows better than a lawyer does. Fupa Moore, pro se, hereby respectfully moves this honorable court that he's been disrespecting for 4 years to set aside a mediation agreement between the 2 parties to this litigation based on fraud. Based on previous evidence submitted to the court via him, video, audio, photographs, and affidavits, the plaintiff submitted a fraudulent civil lawsuit against the defendant. In doing so, he intentionally lied under oath in the proceeding. The claims in his filing were erroneous claims against the defendant. Plaintiff's actions were a deliberate attempt to use this court via his financial means combined with his employees' constant threats and harassments to end the exposure of his unethical and his business dealings and his sensual deviance. Furthermore, the defendant in this case only signed a mediation after months of around-the-clock threats and harassment that culminated in the granting of 2 civil stalking and protection orders against 1 employee and known associate of the plaintiff, the primary baddest bitch in the PR mouthpiece concubine of the plaintiff named Daviana Gustus. Copies of those orders have been submitted to the court, baby, And during the time that the plaintiff requested mediation, my father had passed away. I contracted Carisha-19. And then shortly thereafter, this bitch casted witchcraft upon me and I had a stroke. And all of this was combined with threats and harassment and not having the funds to continue defending myself in this frivolous lawsuit by an attorney caused me to accept the mediation offer by the plaintiff under tremendous duress. On May the 20th of 2024, the employee for the plaintiff made 2 videos, bitch, not 1, but 2, discussing me and this case. And video 1, Augustus reads a letter that was sent by a supporter to the courts online. He placed a photo of the person online as well without his consent. I don't need consent of an ugly ass bitch who got his ugly ass pictures all over ugly ass Facebook, bitch. My information was on the screen as well. Bitch is also on Pacer. It's on Court Listener, girl. It's all throughout Google, honey, because you, in your own words, are a part of what? A case that is publicly and readily accessible. Why you mad? Ain't you the king of doxing? Ain't you the king of bitches putting bitches' addresses and family members and houses and put up to people's homes, girl? And now you can't stand the rain. Okay, you received 2 cease and desist, Miss Moore. 2, girl. Okay, I think they were 6 months apart, girl. Larry gave you 3 to 4 motherfucking chances, bitch, to find you somebody else's bald head to shine, girl. And then when the musical chairs all narrowed down to 1 chair and 1 chair only, you ended up having to sit your motherfucking flat ass in it, bitch. All right? You did this to yourself. So yes, bitch, your information is publicly available thanks to your actions, which got your motherfucking ass sued, ho. We both filed a complaint with YouTube because we 2 pussy crybaby ass bitches. We can talk about these 2 ninjas every year, all year, girl, even when they ain't fucking with us, even when they talking about Whitehead and talking about Cardi B and talking about Lunel and talking about the end of the world, girl, and spiritualizing and praying and healing the sick and raising the dead and casting spells and riding brooms, bitch, and running through the damn moon butt naked, honey. But the minute somebody gets to talking about y'all, bitch, y'all gets to go and reporting to Miss Motherfucking YouTube, bitch, when you know all I gotta do, girl, is go and blur your ugly ass picture that everybody had their eyes closed looking at to begin with, girl. So technically, bitch, nobody even saw either one of you hoes. Because, girl, looking at you bitches with the naked eye was equivalent to a bitch looking at the damn solar eclipse, girl. Nobody even had their eyes open, bitch. When Jimmy done lost all her battles, Bunions was up on the screen, girl. Mildly pedicured, but still looking like a damn color purple struggle. And definitely when your saggy face ass was on the screen, girl, hoes were like this. Okay, it was like this and like that, girl. Solar eclipse sunglasses, Miss Mommies. Okay, the girls were like this, looking at the screen, girl. Okay, you be protected, bitch. Okay, stylishly blind, bitch. When you were on the screen, so I really don't know what you hoes are even really complaining about. But moving along. And video 2, Augustus and the plaintiff appear online together discussing the bogus murder plot of the plaintiff by me in this case. Oh, you know about that old nasty piece of compilation that I got up on my platform, girl, of you talking about putting 2 bullets in Larry's chest and shooting niggas down and GUNing niggas down. You know about that compilation, girl? You talking about, that murder plot, girl? The same sentiments you echoed about Miss Miko, King John's sister, girl, where you as a grown ass 6'7", flat-assed, bi-curious ass, bald-headed Ohio niglet threatened a 5'2" beautician and claimed that you would run up in her house, dismember her body, and then you and your delinquent ass mugshot.com ass sons who you left unprotected to be molested by in-laws, who remain mad at you because you knew the truth and you still allowed niggas to go all up in between their motherfucking ass under your watch? Because you ain't had nothing better else to do but to kick your motherfucking feet up to the sun while Melody's broad shoulder motherfucking transition ass was pumping and dumping into your guts every night, bitch. And you said that you would have those sons that you already abandoned, and now you want to lead down a life and a road of criminality to have them assist you in dismembering a 5'4" beautician's body and scattering her remains all around the United States. Melody from heaven. Melody is now Michael. Shout out to her, baby. Because after being with a bitch ass nigga like Fupa, that would have been enough to make a man out of my ass too as a woman. So shout out to Melody Moore, who's now Micah Moore. And I ain't talking about the filmographer either. We're just trying to make all of it make sense. Those sons. Those sons who you had already failed. Now they 27 and 37 and 47 running around here with a 7th grade education. Selling outdated ass EBT cards. And thinking that they the next damn greatest rapper. You wanted to have those niggas also participate in your online buffoonery. And then you wonder why your youngest, your baby. That one who be looking like all the lights is on, but nobody's in fact in the motherfucking room, bitch. The one who always looks ungroomed, girl. Edges growing every which way but motherfucking out, ho. You wonder why he, the one who got on the real tight book bag to school. You wonder why he opened the door for the process server. You don't want to tell the folk how you allegedly whipped his ass every which way from goddamn Sunday, bitch. Because he the one who turned your ass into this litigation. Signed and sealed by the process server, your baby boy. Opened up the goddamn door. And did. All things you can find on pacer.org and courtlistener.com, courtesy of Fupa, who has already made us aware that these facts of his life are all findable and readily available and accessible to the public. However, since Darbion Augustus is an employee of the plaintiff, he is bound by the mediation agreement. Since the signing of the mediation agreement, Augustus has repeatedly made videos attacking and harassing me. The harassment culminated in an irrelevant, non-solidified, non-existent as civil protective order being granted to me, which is why I'm still sitting here free, and I'm going to be seeing you on the 29th at 10 a.m. at Room T Ben. Oh, yes, God. I got my best bundles. I saved them just for you. Yeah, God. So, let me get this straight. The only time I talk about you, bitch, is when it's time for the feds to chase your motherfucking ass down. Because for some reason, you don't just know how to talk about Larry. When you talk about Larry, somehow you want to talk about his concubine. And then when his concubine enters the goddamn group chat, bitch, you want to be running down there to the white man to be getting bulletproof vests and shit and protective orders, wasting your time and theirs because you don't even know how to do one correctly, ho, which is why you're still waiting on the Ohio courts to respond to a civil protective order for about 3.5 weeks now. And there's not going to be one, bitch. Okay, because your protective order is non-legit. Poor Tink Tank. And going back to that failed logic, so your logic is me, the defendant, fupa, broke ass, ugly, bald headed ass Moore, have sworn before the United States federal courts to shut my motherfucking mouth as it relates to Larry Reid, his likeness, his contractors, his employees, his relatives, his event spaces, etc. And you can hold me legally responsible, whether that means financial sanctions and escalations and or detainment. However, I'm also going to admit, while trying to defend myself against contempt charges for breach of settlement agreement, that I in fact did not breach the settlement agreement. However, I'm going to acknowledge in my own responses to the courts that CTV is an employee, which the courts have thrown out and told you to shut the fuck up about, because these are claims you have to prove that you can't. And the one time you tried to, they told you, bitch, we don't even know what the fuck you're submitting. It's irrelevant because CTV didn't sign an injunction. Only 2 motherfucking niggas did, Larry and Fupa. And if you're going to acknowledge that I am an employee, then why would you ever start producing videos about me? Why? I'm not even going to pick that up. We're just going to move to the built-in microphone. There it is. Why would you ever then start talking about me? Because if I am an employee and you're under a signed settlement agreement that forbids you from talking about Larry's personal family members, friends, contractors, etc., why would you produce content? Why would you be tagging me all up and through your community wall? Why would you be hashtagging my videos? Because not only are you breaching the settlement agreement that you signed, not me, as it relates to talking about Larry and his likeness, but you're directly double downing on the violations by also talking about who you're narrating and accusing of being his employee. What is the reason, Donnell? The reason that you see. What is the reason, my nigga? See, the logic ain't logicking. The man forgets that despite Larry also signing a settlement agreement, that he is still the defendant. Larry is still the plaintiff. Larry's lawyer wrote up the mediation, not Fupa's. So Larry has a lot more leeway in this settlement agreement because he had the beautiful privilege and luxury of having his paid attorney who wasn't disgruntled with him, who had facts to defend him and represent him with, also write up the injunction. And who do you think the injunction was going to favor, you dumb asshole? Who do you think the mediation agreement was going to benefit, you dumb, silly girl? So if I am indeed an employee, then why the fuck are you indeed talking about me and violating the settlement agreement that you in fact signed? Can anybody make it make sense? Nope. Conclusion to his amendum, based upon the facts set above and the reasons thereby outlined above, the defendant motion should be granted. It, of course, was in fact not, girl. All right. Now we have attachment 3. What the hell is this? So Fupa then writes up another letter submitting YouTube links of people accusing Larry of sexual gay affairs, misuse of church donations, another video of somebody detailing emotional, physical, mental, and sensual abuse. Also a former associate talking about betrayal, Ozempic Hill, okay, who released the video about him yesterday, which Fupa was stupid enough to actually publish a soundbite of directed to his channel. Now here it is, you are fighting for your life, claiming that you have not violated the order in which you and your lawyer both signed and reviewed in a 24-hour period, because both of y'all, okay, was in heat. And not only have you been violating Larry Reid Live for months on end because you allowed Lester Peltier unwind with Cardi B's money, Vincent Terrell Hill, it's another hoe. One of these other hoes too, to gas you up. But you also then start talking about his employee according to you. Make it make sense. You have video links in here from TINGZ. And what's funny about all of the links is that everything cited in any one of these live streams and videos published by any one of these content creators were exactly the allegations that got your ass sued and settled to begin with. Ain't that about a full circle moment? That these are the things that you said. And because you forgot that discovery period was 2.5 years ago, girl, and that this case has been concluded and sealed with prejudice, meaning that it will never be litigated ever again in life. It'll never be mediated or mitigated again in life. You circle back around and prove, which had already been established, which is why you've been penalized 3 times now and have had this mediation reinforced, this agreement reinforced for 5 different times in a 4-year period. Prove to the courts that you, in fact, are guilty of the slander in which you commit. Do you know that third-party information is not considered fact? Do you know that if you say something about someone and then someone else says the same thing about someone, that doesn't conclude it as a fact? And it damn sure doesn't equal as a fact in the court of any type of goddamn law. That's considered hearsay. Not only do you have no right to discovery, and you've thrown all this same shit up against the wall, all the other times you were found guilty in contempt, you would think that at this point, girl, you would just lay it low and spread it wide to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Daughter. Allow them to make you anew again, girl, by offering your body up as a living sacrifice. So you can find you something else to do other than to continue to embarrass yourself and run yourself into financial ruins. But even worse, bitch, end up in goddamn jail over a nigga you never even smelt the twerk air of. I don't know no idiot but you who is willing to allow a man they've never met to cost them their livelihood and their financial bearings. And then you wonder why you're 57 plus years old with a room to rent, bitch. You wonder why you got to tell the courts, girl, that you can't even afford the pooch on through, girl, a half a mile down the road. for an in-person court hearing. You done allowed the obsession with another man to reduce your damn gas tank to only being able to get you to a destination within a 6-block radius. No further, girl. How you got 6-block radius gas, girl? And this is why we're willing to entertain whether there's some type of sensual obsession here. There got to be some deep-rooted, same-gender lovingness. You know, because it gives lover scorn, it gives homoeroticism, it gives everything, especially a man who is not only obsessed with another man he's never met beyond logic and reason, but also specifically obsessed with his sex life, which is why you love perceiving everybody around Larry as some type of a sexual object, some type of a concubine, some type of a sex slave. You're interested in these molestation stories, but what's funny is that you wasn't even interested in the molestation stories of your own children. Oh, we want to pull up your words before it's all said and done. We are. Yeah, we're going to do it. Okay? So that was his letter dated for the addendum. Okay? Now, let me tell you what the courts did in response. This is the response in opposition to the defendant's motion to set aside the settlement agreement and vacate the show cause hearing that was set for today, which successfully took place. The defendant has filed a single-page document that moves the court to both set aside the settlement between the parties concluded in December of 2021 and be canceled the hearing on the order to show cause that the court issued on May 20th of 2024. That hearing is now set for noon of May 2022. Both of these motions should be denied, and they in fact were. These are the write-ups for an actual attorney, okay? Defendant Moore asserts the December 2021 settlement agreement should be set aside based on fraud, aka lying by the plaintiff in the original filing and duress by the defendant when he agreed to a mediation agreement. This motion, to the extent that it is a motion, goddamn, should be denied for several reasons, baby. You got a little Raymond ass. First, the defendant presents neither an argument for nor evidence in support of his contention. He never does. Issues adverted to in a perfunctory manner, unoccupied by some effort at developed argumentation, are deemed waived. Okay, Raymond, girl, you did not have to give it to us Yale style right there, girl. Because I'm going to need a whole damn translator. Somebody bring me a damn Braille book. Because the way that Raymond just asserted and distinguished himself from a paralegal girl by talking straight, high vibrational dictionary, the way that my brain just interpreted what I read as completely foreign, girl, that might as well be Spanish, bitch. That ain't even old English right there, girl. That's straight up Chinese, girl. Whatever the hell Raymond just wrote up, girl, was straight up Chinese, bitch. Okay? So don't ask me about it. All I know is that it's good shit. All right? It is not sufficient for a party to mention a possible argument in the most skeletal way, leaving the court to put flesh on its bone. Oh, Raymond, you better talk that talk, sir. You better talk it, my nigga. Talk it good. Mm-hmm. The motion. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can you guys still hear me good? Give me a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me well. I forgot I'm not using my professional microphone. If you can still hear me in the chat and hear me like, all right, let's go. A motion which contains no citations and no other argument is brief, perfunctory, and patently inadequate. Vague motion to seal deemed inadequate in both cases to the extent that ECF number 65 through 1 constitutes a motion at all, it should be denied on the basis alone. So Raymond is sitting there saying, girl, I don't even know what we're reading. I have no idea what the hell this man is submitting. This shit is so vague. It's so skeletal. It's so non-contextual, not to mention that it lacks all legal jargon and standard language that I'm not even sure that what we can call a motion is even just that. Now, mind you, Fupa is the same niglet that threw shots at Raymond in a previous filing, which was his autobiography to the judge, talking about the lawyer speaking nothing but a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Baby, when I tell you Raymond getting his whole lit back on this bitch, hold it back, girl. Secondly, the assertion that Reid lied in the complaint provides no basis for relief from the settlement agreement, which has long since been reduced to a judgment enforceable by the court. The time to litigate the veracity of what was alleged in the complaint has passed, and the court has already ruled that Moore gave up the opportunity to contest the merits in this case when he settled in November of 2021. Thirdly, Moore alleges he settled under duress, but he presents neither argument nor evidence to substantiate or explain the contention. The prior findings of the court and the recitations of the settlement agreement itself believe his assertion. Moore signed the settlement agreement on December 17th of 2021. The agreement read in part. Okay, this is an excerpt from the agreement. Each person signing the settlement agreement represents and warrants that he has been duly authorized and has direct requisites authority, I probably fucked that word up, to execute and deliver the settlement agreement on behalf of and bind the respective parties to its terms and conditions, and has done so of his own free will and without coercion or duress. Come on, Raymond. So what Raymond did was just gag this bitch again, because the defendant is making the argument that he was under duress. Duress he calls. He drove his own lawyer crazy. He decided to be represented in a case he couldn't fight about a lawsuit he begged Larry to give to him, and he argued duress. But what the defendant forgot was that the settlement agreement he signed actually has in all bold black letters that each party has a clear, healthy, full, nuanced, educated, clear-minded understanding of what they are in fact signing. And because Raymond Basbari, lawyer's attorney, actually wrote up the settlement agreement, he actually used the very same word that the defendant is using in his argument, that he was under the duress. But you signed in cold blood that you, in fact, were not under duress, and nor were you coerced. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to show this to y'all, because you can't make this kind of up. I got to show this to y'all. Y'all got to see this for yourself, girl. Okay? Hold on. Let me magnify this, because this is a key, and this is a total caco. Hold on, let me scoot shit over. Okay, here it is. Y'all see this here? Oh, y'all can't. Let me move my ass out the motherfucking way. Here it is. Y'all see this here? Look at the bold. Look at the black. Look at the black, baby. Look at the black girl. Okay. And has done so of his own free will and without coercion nor duress. Just take that in for 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah. I had to come and get something. Oh my God. Did y'all take that in? You see that up there? I mean, talk about paralegals for dummies. How are you going to use the same language of the settlement agreement you signed claiming that you were under duress when you had an opportunity to argue that? You had an opportunity to mitigate that. You had an opportunity, to state that, to make the courts aware of that. I mean, literally, if you guys would have been around at this time, the judge literally gave this ninja the amount of time he needed to review it. The courts were not in any rush to have Fupa sign it. They gave him and his lawyer all the time, girl. Y'all can take as long as y'all want to. Send it back and forth. Y'all can build upon the settlement agreement with Larry. Y'all can collaborate on it. Y'all can get it, right to y'all's personal customization. Fupa nor Fred, who was already writing up his memorandum, girl, wanted any further relationship to getting their asses whooped socially and legally. So they ran to sign this injunction. And of course, Frederick didn't give a damn because he wasn't being binded by it. He's just an unpaid ass attorney. Fupa just a number. Couldn't even be a check to him, unfortunately. So when they tell you read all legal documents, which Fupa read this document, because Fupa wanted what his lawyer wanted, it to be over. This shit was scary for him. That's why he was having heart failure and liver failure and toenail failure and eye failure. Everything was failing, bitch. That's why those medical records are as tore up as they is. That's why he wanted the medical records, girl, sealed. This litigation, girl, touch my anointed, girl. Okay? Larry touched, and then that bitch ended up in urgent care, girl. The whole time. Okay? So she was ready to get up off of a ventilator, baby. And now she mad because she can't participate in all the fun. She can't participate in all of the yabba dabba doing that the other hoes out here are getting into without being penalized in the worst kind of ways for doing so, girl. She is mad because she got to live vicariously, girl, through B. Terrell Hill and Lester Peltier and all these other motherfucking heathens, girl. Okay, because she can't get out here, girl, and get carried away without the clickety clank. So now she's feeling sorry for herself and using her supporters to help her to get her ass locked up and sanctioned beyond repair. All right? So let me pull up. All right. Let's get back to Raymond's write-up, girl. It goes on to say, this is Larry's lawyer, that is. The fact that Moore now appears pro se makes no difference in this regard. While the briefs of pro se litigants are entitled to a liberal construction, the failure to advance an argument or to present evidence is nevertheless fatal to a motion or claim. This court has already held that the parties reached an agreement regarding all the material terms of the settlement. Moore has on 4 occasions been held to have violated the agreement and has twice been held in contempt for having done so, in proceedings that have spanned the course of 28 months. Now he suddenly claims duress without evidence or explanation. His assertion is a little too late and should be rejected out of hand, and was. Fourthly, to the extent that it is a motion at all, girl, the request to vacate the settlement agreement constitutes request for relief from judgment. The settlement agreement itself recites that the court retained jurisdiction for purposes of enforcing the agreement, and the stipulated entry of dismissal was approved by the court after the agreement was executed. To vacate the settlement agreement would require the court to vacate its order dismissing the claims and counterclaims in this matter with prejudice. But this court concluded with prejudice. There is no going back. Moore may now have misgivings about his choice. He may feel that his case is stronger than he once thought it was. That does not, in fact, matter. A motion under Rule 60B cannot be used to avoid the consequences of a party's decision to settle litigation. Generally speaking, a party who makes an informed choice as to a particular course of action will not be relieved of the consequences when it subsequently develops that the choice was indeed unfortunate. Damn. Larry's attorney just says, it's unfortunate. Most people who even ended up in this position certainly will have regrets, baby. You opened a can of worms that you're not going to be able to fish out, and you wrote a goddamn check that your ass ain't been able to cash ever since, bitch. You are materially and spiritually bankrupt. And you should have regret. But the court shall not recognize those regrets. It only recognizes your understanding and your John Hancock on legal paperwork that you had time to be reviewed by a professional, aka Frederick Middleton ass, and that you had time to understand and to process and to analyze. And you signed it twice, and your lawyer did. And determined, and then they gave it back after Larry signed it. After Larry signed it, they sent it back for review. He reviewed it and sent it back without revision. When I tell you that the courts, when they are going to do some with prejudice shit, which is wrap this shit up, it can never be mitigated again shit, they go over and beyond to make sure that you understand what you are choosing to do in this matter. So that's why it's not historical, girl, that with prejudice cases actually are overturned. They go through too many cycles. It's too many backwards and forwards. It's too many checks and balances to make sure that you understand what you're doing. So there is going to be no come to Jesus. There's going to be no reconsideration. There's going to be no excuses later on. It goes on to say, Moore contends that it would be unjust to hold him in contempt based on the submission sent to Chambers by third parties, and somewhat opaquely, given that all of his own submissions to Chambers appeared on Pacer and presumably were not for that reason. Moore has been found to have violated the settlement agreement and the orders of the court dozens of times. He has twice been held in contempt. He has delayed proceedings on the pending fourth motion to enforce and the third motion for an order to show cause. He has repeatedly submitted documents to the court justifying his actions based on arguments that the court has already directly rejected, including claims about the truth of his allegations against Reid. He has manifested a pattern of contempt, excuse, and evasion of a sort almost never seen in court. Raymond said, bitch, I ain't never even seen no dumbassness like this. This is dumbass times 1 million, girl. Okay? The nigga needs a check just for the sheer embarrassment of it all, because this is legal entertainment. He must be held to account, asserts Mr. Basbari. Whether he should be held in contempt based on the submission sent to the chambers in violation of the order to desist from doing so is an open question. We submit in the answer to that question will turn on factual determinations such as whether, when, and how third parties were induced to communicate to the court, by whom and why. These are the sorts of determinations that require a hearing. As such, the hearing set for noon tomorrow should go forward as planned and did. Now, in revisiting this assertion that I was the reason why his buffooning ass supporters emailed the courts, that wouldn't even be true according to their own dumbasses. Herein, we can just revisit real briefly Roxanne, the mustache-wearing man's own letter. Because remember, hey, Will Blanche, Fupa said, I am responsible for why they wrote because I published the email, an email that he also admits is readily available, publicly available for anybody to get a hold of. Well, let's take a look at Roxanne's letter real quick. Doesn't that read in the very first beginning of a paragraph? I am writing this court in support of Fupa Moore. Where do you say I am writing this letter because I was watching CTV and saw you guys' emails and decided of my own volition to write in? Or off the strength of what CTV presented? Every letter begins this way to the courthouse. I am writing this court in support of Fupa Dumbass Moore. Fupa Dumbass Moore. Fupa Dumbass Moore. And Fupa Dumbass Motherfucking Moore. Okay? More incongruent, incoherent, congested ass statements made by a desperate man who's dawned upon very desperate times. So that was Raymond's response. Now, Raymond also wrote up a motion to strike. Check this out. In addition, plaintiffs moved for an order forbidding defendant Moore from filing documents containing personally identifying information, including home addresses, telephone numbers, email addresses, and financial information relating to any party, witness, potential witness, or alleged associate of any party. The basis for this motion are set forth in a supporting memorandum of law, which is filed herewith and is incorporated by reference herein. Okay, and on this exhaustive list, Larry's lawyer is stripping the case and the docket of all of the letters written, including affidavits by Levontre Andrews, who ran from his own legal smoke against Dr. Reid, resulting in a default judgment in support of Dr. Reid's innocence. V. Terrell Hill, who initially told Fupa that he got what the hell he deserved because he did too much, including slander the fuck out of V. Terrell Hill and call him a goddamn coke crackhead. All the letters to the magistrate, letter to the district judge, letter to the magistrate judge, email to Chambers from ugly ass Patricia, toe up ass Tracy, 100-year-old ass Garcia Hyman, email from Gail No Weathers, the email from Jimmy lost all her damn battles, motion for continuances, opposition to third motion enforcement, screenshots of online content, and pretty much every single instance in which FUPA utilized filing through the legal system as a way to dox non-relevant parties and to slander non-relevant parties, such as myself, who he now has made relevant. Thank you, FUPA. Such as those of Andrea Garrison, such as Knockout Media, Brian Hughes, and Larry Reid Lives himself, who he doxed like 13 motions up by putting the plaintiff's home address in the filings. The plaintiff filing against you. Why would the courts need Larry's address? Oh, that's because putting Larry's address there wasn't for the courts. It was another failed intimidation tactic that then got your ass caught the fuck up and facing possible detainment. Okay, so let's also look at the brief and supporter memorandum. Yes. Plaintiff, okay, this is Larry's side. By and through undersigned counsel hereby move for an order striking the following documents filed by the defendant as scandalous, impertinent, and or immaterial. The Supreme Court established long ago that federal courts have the duty to keep their records clean and free from scandal. To that end, courts have inherent authority to control the conduct of the litigants before it to protect and promote the orderly administration of justice and to maintain the court's integrity. Included within that authority is the power to control the court's own docket by striking filings or portions of filings that are immaterial, impertinent, scandalous, or otherwise violative of the court's rule or order. Make of this inherent power to control the docket when determining whether to strike documents or portions of documents. That authority includes the ability to strike submissions other than pleadings that are irrelevant, immaterial, or scandalous, or otherwise violate the orders of the court. Rule 12F applies only to pleadings, but courts have the inherent authority to strike non-pleadings in order to manage its docket, including, once again, immaterial, impertinent, or scandalous matters. The courts also have the inherent power to strike filings that do not comply with court rules. Striking such content rests within the discretion of the court. The discretion. I said discretion. Goddamn, bitch, sounding like poop ass now. In material matter, has no bearing on the subject material of the litigation. In material matter is that which has no essential or important relationship to the claim. For example, breaking the culture's address, Brian, Knockout Media's, hold on, legal name. These are all irrelevant informations. Also citing that CTV domestically abused his boyfriend. All of those are irrelevant, especially when you're going to end that statement with, but his man did not press charges for fear of encountering the police because he himself was fresh out of prison. And yet you think that the courts, let's say in some hypothetical Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, that the courts were interested in that narrative. You thought that you were going to be able to get them to believe that I was the victim to a man that you cited in the same breath, just got his motherfucking ass out of prison. And you think that you were going to get the courts, even if they had been hypothetically interested, because that somehow would have been relevant to this case, which it is in fact not, which is why I will be seeing you on the 29th of May at 10 p.m. in room 10B. That would be irrelevant, scandalous, third party, and already debunked lies. But even if we're true, irrelevant. And you know the funny thing about it is, I did whip his ass in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter. Because when you put your hands on a bad bitch, you get a bad bitch stump out. So it's just unfortunate that he only told you one half of the circumstances that got his ass whooped on the side of the house and got his head knocked back and forth into the AC. Moving along. In the material we just covered, let's also now talk about the impertinent matters. Okay? Does not pertain to and is unnecessary to the resolution of the issue it addresses. An impertinent matter is defined as an allegation not responsive or relevant to the issues involved in an action and which could not be put in issue or be given in evidence between parties. Now, scandalous material generally means any allegation that unnecessarily reflects on the moral character of an individual or states anything in repulsive language that detracts from the dignity of the court. Like saying that little old sweet gay ass me is to be so feared that you have to run down to the courts to get a piece of paper that they're not even going to enforce because just like your dumbass was too unintelligent to file accordingly in this litigation, you were too dumb to file accordingly in that litigation. But let's say in a hypothetical universe that you indeed had a protective order against me. Do you realize, bitch, that it has not been violated? Do you realize that a civil protective order, girl, is not a gag order? It's not an injunction order, girl. I'm free to drag your motherfucking ass, bitch, until you meet your parents in hell. Do you understand? Are we going to be clear about the fact that that's in fact just what I'm going to do? See, I'm not like you. Because you are having sweet romantic fantasies of jumping headfirst into all about bussies, you have to attempt to come off the screen still to do all of nothing. But this side, we don't call you, we don't text you, we don't directly deal with you. We just respond accordingly and to let you know, bitch, that if you feeling froggy, you know exactly where you can leap, girl. Okay? I mean, if you that pressed to attend the Ponderosa, you're more than welcome, baby, because every bitch on this side stay ready. So there's no getting ready, honey. Okay? You just let us know. Yeah. That raggedy tied ass, unsubstantiated, non-existent CTO girl does not forbid me giving you a verbal lashing. And it damn sure doesn't forbid us ending up in a legal setting together, because those will be the only times where exceptions are made to the rule of restraining orders and protective orders and civil stalking protective orders. See you on May the 29th. The procedural context of this motion. 3 years ago, in May 2021, the plaintiff sued the defendant for defamation. Okay, we got a whole story here. We ain't got to really go through all of that. Beyond these violations, Moore has adopted a new tactic that is both cynical and dangerous. He continues to post content about Reid on YouTube, but in addition, he has begun filing scandalous, inflammatory, and impertinent allegations about Reid on the docket. So a man who was stupid enough to be sued for committing slander is stupid enough to be in a lawsuit litigation continuing to commit slander. This is why Roxanne, the flat ass mustache wearing man, was talking about how sick of his shit she is. It stops here. Okay, energy baby. Because who can be this stupid? These publicly available submissions accuse Reid of crimes and inapproprieties, ranging from financial misdealing, sensual misconduct, child abuse, to immigration fraud, and more. None of these allegations has anything to do with the sole question that remains before the court. Rather, Moore has yet again violated the terms of the settlement agreement and the orders enforcing it. The sole purpose of these submissions is to besmirch Reid. Thus, Moore has turned the docket into a new and inappropriate forum for his crusade against Reid. Worse, Moore has included in several of his filings alongside claims Reid is a heinous criminal, Reid's residential address, and other contact information, as well as for a witness who has submitted declarations, his employee, on his behalf, and other non-parties whom Moore alleges are supporters or confederates of Reid. Breaking the culture of silence, knockout media. This is a textbook example of the form of harassment and intimidation known as doxing. A nefarious actor with an online following can direct the ire of his supporters against a chosen target by spreading outrageous allegations against them, and terrorize his target by also publishing personal identifying information, including home or workplace addresses, in order to facilitate harassment by his outraged audience. By publishing allegations of base criminality alongside a residential address, Moore has turned the court's docket into a medium for harassment, intimidation, and abuse. The content of the items that should be stricken is summarized below, along with a brief statement of the basis which the court should strike them, which are all the things that I just cited here. Okay? All the emails, all of the things. The sole question, once again, before the court is, and since December 2021, has been whether Moore has violated the settlement agreement and later the orders by which the court has enforced the agreement. That is the sole basis upon which the court has retained jurisdiction. The case on the merits was settled 28 months ago. That makes the submissions regarding any other topic both immaterial and impertinent. Those submissions have no bearing on whether Moore is in violation of the settlement agreement and the orders enforcing it. That includes allegations that associates of Reid have violated the agreement, which are false and unsubstantiated. This includes third-party opinions regarding the relative merits of Reid and Moore. This includes all of the scandalous allegations listed above. It includes, in short, every single submission raised in this motion. All are impertinent and immaterial and should be stricken on the basis raised in this motion. All are impertinent and immaterial and should be stricken on that basis too, in addition to many of them being scandalous. Finally, the third-party communication sent to chambers on both behalf of Moore, as well as his own email submissions after May 13th, were submitted in direct violation of two of the court's orders. For this reason, too, the item dockets as ECF 57 through 3, 57-4, 57-5, so on and so on and so on, should be stricken from the docket. Conclusion. Wherefore, the items identified herein should be stricken from the docket, in this case as scandalous, irrelevant, and impertinent, and or submitted in violation of the court's order. Baby, Raymond striking every motherfucking thing. All right? Last but not least, motions to quash. Do you know that Fupa, because he believes, girl, that this is an MJ trial, bitch, and maybe he's suffering from an onslaught of early dementia, early Alzheimer's, because this girl actually went up and sent out raggedy ass subpoenas. And I mean raggedy by every mention of the word raggedy girl. I'm talking about no proof of service, written up in what could be considered legal botchery, and in an attempt to obtain things that are irrelevant to the sole question as presented by Mr. Vasvari of whether FUPA simply violated the settlement agreement or not. So FUPA caught himself submitting subpoenas. One directed to plaintiff Larry Reid seeking bank statements and financial information. Another directed to plaintiff Larry Reid demanding financial statements and tax documents related to the NBN network. Another subpoena directed to plaintiff Larry Reid seeking medical records related to sexually transmitted diseases, which all of those documents can be found on my channel, girl. All those HIV negative non-reactive tests dating all the way back to 2014, as recent as 2024, girl, can all be found right here on this beautiful fact-finding as platform. And a subpoena directed to plaintiff Larry Reid seeking bank statements evidencing transfer from Latrice Spencer and Lester Peltier. Each of these is signed by Moore in his capacity as pro se defendant. Each bears a return date of May 13th of 2024. Catch this. At noon, the same date the copies were filed. Not only did this bitch subpoena shit that he's not legally going to obtain because of its irrelevancy, the fact that the case's discovery period has already concluded and he didn't use his smart parts to do all of this 2.5 years ago with his now self-induced fired lawyer, Frederick Middleton. The bitch didn't even write them up correctly and then had a return date for the same date he issued them. This motherfucker is class A stupid. His return date for bank records, medical records, financial records was for the very same day he issued the damn subpoenas. At some point, are we just going to cry for this man? At some point, bitch, are we just going to shed one hard, strong, salt and pepper tear for this damn man? Like, at some point, girl, are we going to have a vigil and just pour some damn liquor out, girl, shoot a few damn rounds? This man had a return date on his subpoenas for the same day he issued them. This is what happens when you use your mouth more so to keep Larry's dick in it than you do using your eyes to see. This is the behavior of dickmatization. This is what happens when you don't use either eyes that the good Lord gives you, but use your one mouth to keep another man's penis in. This is what happens when you're too busy slobbing on that knob like corn on the cob. This is what happens when you're trying to fill out paperwork while deep throating. This is what happens when you're literally writing and penning while literally gagging. This is when you're going full throttle kamikaze super soaker throater with your eyes closed. And then your subpoenas have a return date for the same day. They go up and they go out. Okay. It is unclear, says the motion to quash, if Moore will contend that the subpoenas were served on Reid upon his filing as them a part of his exhibit. Whatever their status, the subpoenas and each of them should be quashed. First, the case is closed. Secondly, discovery would have closed on April the 4th of 2022. 2 years too late, bitch. Thirdly, all the subpoenas are directed to Larry, one of the two plaintiffs, but Rule 45 does not authorize the service of subpoenas on parties. Had a paralegal pretending to be a lawyer actually been a lawyer, then he would have known that Rule 45 forbids the subpoenaing of said parties. Fourthly, the sole issue before the court is not Larry's health status, financial status, sexuality status, but rather Moore has yet again violated the settlement agreement. In the words of his own Fupalette, Roxanne, the flat ass, mustache wearing man. Fifthly, the subpoenas are defective because they do not require production to be made within 100 miles of where Reid lives, which is mandatory under Civil Rule 45. Had a paralegal pretending to be a lawyer actually been a goddamn lawyer, operating as a defendant in this case would have known just that. And for all of these reasons, Moore should be forbidden for serving the subpoenas in question, and if they have been served, should in fact be demolished. The most recent response from the courts today came right after that video conference of the case status hearing. Okay? So here is from the courts. Proceedings. A Zoom status conference was conducted with the above participants on May 22nd of 2024. The court ordered as follows. For one, any communication with the court must be placed on the docket and served on the other side. Letters in support of a party are not appropriate at this point in the case. Defendant must inform others not to submit letters on behalf of himself. So despite his frail, consistent attempts to somehow deflect behind me, deflect behind Larry, to no avail once again, bitch. The courts are the courts. They're intelligent people, unlike the Fupas and Fupalettes. They're holding his ass accountable. And they're letting his ass know, no, bitch, what you're going to do is be held responsible for these motherfucking people emailing us on your behalf in their own words. So cease and stop your bullshit, bitch. Then it says, as in-person hearing on the fifth motion to enforce settlement. The third motion for an order compelling the defendant to show cause for why he should be held in contempt. Motion to impose a fine based on the order. Motion for attorney fees, costs, and motion for sanctions based upon ongoing contempt and vexatious conduct is set for Wednesday of May the 29th on 2024. At 10 a.m. in courtroom 10B, Carby Stokes United States Courthouse, 801 West Superior Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio. Both sides shall present evidence in support of or in opposition to the motion. Witnesses who live more than 200 miles away from the courthouse may appear by Zoom. If anyone removes themselves to a location more than 200 miles away from the courthouse so as to appear by Zoom instead of in person, there will be sanctions. God damn. The show cause hearing set for May 22nd of 2024 is continued on May 29th of 2024. Total amount of time spent in that Zoom conference call today was all of 15 goddamn minutes. The courts want to see FUPA as bad. They are using detainment language. they are not letting up on this in-person hearing. FUPA is shooketh to the 100th degree because he fears the worst as a result of this hearing being held in person, where he can then be held captive and apprehended and taken into custody. Considering all that the courts want to discuss with Mr. Moore concerning his terrorism through his legal filings, not only against Reid, but plus and or associates, contractors, etc., doxing within the docket, months worth of violations, coupled with the fact that they warned him on 3 different occasions, they ordered him to cease inappropriately filing through the courts and instead pay his legal fees and file through the actual courthouse and not the judge's personal email chambers. He did not. Letters continued to roll in by the dozens as warnings continued to be issued, making Jimmy Battles miss Jimmy lost all her battles, and Roxanne the box-face mustache-wearing man's letters, the needle that broke the camel's back. And as you guys heard here repetitively, the only issue that will be discussed on May the 29th in this evidentiary hearing is whether Mr. Moore, in fact, breached the settlement agreement that he and his attorney at the time, who was harboring a fugitive, took time to understand, evaluate, ultimately sign, and decide was well and appropriate. Unfortunately, it will not be about whether Dr. Reid has HIV, which he does not. Whether he's forcibly fondled and or molested anyone, which he has not. Whether he has committed any type of financial crimes, which he has not. Maybe from occasionally buying Dr. Reid's fashion choices. He get it right most of the time, bitch. Most of the time. But aside from spending on some badass outfits every now and again and hitting the goddamn Ozempic pen to get skinty as hell, has not in any way committed a goddamn financial crime. Maybe bad choice in dieting. Maybe bad choice in shopping. But committing financial crimes, no ma'am, no sir. So Miss V. Terrell Hill, who still got her 1998 Oprah's body, but in her mind is also Ozempic skinty, thinking that she gonna be singing like a goddamn canary. I'm just glad I get a first row seat to the shit show on May the 29th. I just can't wait until I'm just ecstatic to bear witness to the buffoonery that's on record being acted out like a Tyler Perry stage play at the local Coliseum. And no, Dr. Reid will not be attending because he doesn't have to. all the evidence speaks for itself. There's nothing for him to show up as and to show up for. It's really an open and shut case. He has indeed breached it. And the arguments are no different for his violations than they were the last two times when the orders were when the motion was reinforced and the contempt was justified. But he's got double the trouble. He's got double the contempt. He's being double dildoed. And I can't blame him for being scared. Because it's rational to be afraid. Well, it's logical to be afraid. But Fupa bears no mercy and no compassion because, as you can see, written in plain, eloquent language by Mr. Basbari, this is a multiple offender, just like Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Everybody, time is up. Everybody. None of these people can say that the Lord didn't love them. It's been clear that the Lord has been long-suffering. It's been clear that the Lord has been very patient. So everything that happens now and forever is all justified, whether it's legal proceedings or whether it's anybody on this side taking the freeway to lay these hoes to rest, metaphorically and figuratively speaking, I should say. Ray says Fupa's going to fall the fuck out. You know what's funny? Fupa actually is going to be forced to actually speak to me because he's self-representing. I signed a declaration. So I'll be there to testify on behalf of the facts. Lay it out through audio, visual, and through YouTube's transcript. I'm so happy we get to have tea and crumpets. Oh yes, 76 Black. He won't just be talking about me. He's going to have his opportunity to talk to the king. I'm so excited. Do I look like I can hide it, bitch? Any questions? This was 2 hours. It felt like forever. I think it was all of that reading. My God. I deserve to get paid. When I'm reading, bitch, that's when I really deserve for y'all to be throwing shit in the collection plate, bitch. That reading, like I feel like I got hit by a bus. Okay? So where the cash is? Where it at, honey? Girl, 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 54 seconds of pure breakdown, entertainment, reading, girl. We was in here having a damn spelling bee Olympics, bitch. Not only did we have to read through all of Fupa's ebonics in the form of legal responses, we actually had to read through the educated, highly educated legal write-ups of an actual lawyer in this case. No, unfortunately, this is a very strict, closed-off hearing. Hold on, am I able to, it's something I want to say. I don't know if I can. I don't know, I'm going to say something, but no, absolutely not. Nope, anybody can't. Just imagine it'd be something like jury selection, but not a jury selection, but parties are spoken for as it relates to this hearing. I don't know. Because once again, parties have to be spoken for. So it doesn't, I mean, if what was being asked, can anybody come and see? No. In terms of who can show up as a witness, that's also going to be like tailored, but you can choose whomever you want to as a witness, you know. I can't say too much, girl. You know, this is a legal battle. So, you know, folk can do what they do. But just know, honey, you know, we'll be in the building doing what we do best. Winning. No matter what, I wanted to see the hard. Ain't been a hard drive, baby. Fupa had a whole 4 months to run that hard drive down, girl. And as y'all heard from the lawyer's memorandum, no such hard drive ever existed, baby. Okay, all of that was an intimidation tactic. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Never existed, boo. All bark, no bite ass, bitch. Hold on. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Hold on, wait a minute. What happened? Hold on. Oh, the look. Hold on. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna call. Okay. All right, I gotta get out of here, y'all. This was amazing. This was fun. I'll be coming back tomorrow to talk about Bishop Lamar Whitehead, because y'all been wanting me to talk about him being remanded, girl. And we gonna talk about Pam Ass, girl, because I know Pam Ass was there to see it in person. And I know, girl, he gave her a hardcore ass middle finger, baby. Okay, I know he gave Pam Ass a nasty X-rated middle finger, baby, on the way into them handcuffs, bitch. So we'll be coming and getting into all of that. We got more Diddy news to get into. It's a lot of fuckery and buffoonery taking place. You guys stay prayed up, stay great. Subscribe, share to the channel. I love you all, girl. You know, I was on a hiatus. I had to do real grown things, honey, but we back just like that, bitch. All right. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. And I think we're going to close out on the only outro that is appropriate in these matters, girl, which is...
Hey, what's up, Larry, baby? Listen, this is just a little remix to remind you that you are still the shiznit. Don't even worry about Daryl Moore the Bomb and his B-Team minions, because you had a purpose before they even had an opinion. You still got much love out here, and you are still winning. So let those haters hate, and let those trolls troll. Wow. They are just mad because they will never ever rise to your level. Y'all haters ain't on his 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 level. You ain't on his level. Here we go. We're gonna start with Daryl Moore. You ain't on his level. And I'll say your name, cause from the pits of the hell you came. You's a dirty old man. You came up with a lame ass plan. You tried to take Larry down, with a proof that was unfound. Shame on you. Find something else better to do. Cause that same ditch that you dig in is the same ditch your ass gonna fall in. You recruited El Carter, and his dumb ass ain't no smarter. And as a matter of fact, I think you want Larry's feet in your crack. Damn! Marcellus, looking like Hannibal Buress. You're always making threats, but ain't never done a damn thing yet. Ain't you that gutter snake who made fun of Larry's rape? You'll say it ain't so, but when we saw you on a video, shut the hell up and sip your tea, because a badass you'll never be. All you do is talk shit with that lame ass 18 clip. And now we got big little Kim, who really just wants to sit in. I won't go in on you, sis, but you're so much better than this. And Roxanne, Daryl don't wanna be your man. He is just using you
Because he needs a thinking of you.
Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all niggas ain't Black Mr. Clean.
Y'all haters ain't on his
Whoever the hell y'all be,
You ain't on his level.
y'all the biggest haters I ever seen. Y'all niggas ain't on his level.
Y'all haters ain't on his level.
You ain't on his level.
Y'all haters ain't on his level.
Y'all haters ain't on his level.
Y'all haters ain't on his level.
You ain't on his level.
Y'all haters ain't on his level.
Y'all niggas ain't on his level.
Y'all
No,
ain't on his level.
you will never be on his level.
level.
Hey,
You ain't on his
you tried it though. Gotta give you an A for effort.